So hi, 2026, a mystic, but not quite to the girl or X-Men. Though we both like blue, here's some differences. She wears her blue externally like armor for O2. My blues came hand-stitched tightly to the hip of my soul for O2 view. Now I know I may look like the man of steel, but trust me, deep down all I do is feel like H2O. My blues flow through my veins, no wonder. Nimvera chest back a jazz. Nimvera nice. Her blues were man size. My blues are immeasurable. Her blues fell in love with the Wolverine. My blues are the demons that haunt me day and night, but on these stages like the full moon's out, I swear I slay and skin these monsters are werewolves. Her blues were the shade of the deep dark seas. My blues are the kinds that drown like seas, but only no one sees my fights to stay afloat. Don't get me wrong though, I love blue. In fact, my young sister can testify blue was my favorite color growing up. But some days my blues felt like a fairy furnace with no fourth man. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were all willing participants in their flames. I am only often as willing as a stray bullet pulling itself through the flesh of its victim to get some air. I literally crawled over 31st December 2025 like a car being towed. I had no drive of my own. For that reason, I changed colors. Blue is no longer my favorite color, it messed me up. My new favorite color, for those who may not know, is black, as can be seen from my black watches. But I guess that explains why all I keep seeing, even on my good days, are dark times. Like last year, after celebrating one of my best friend's wedding, my Piki, we literally slept at 3 a.m., woke up at 4 a.m., spent the day running around making phone calls, dancing, eating, drinking, mostly juice. The wedding ended at 10 p.m. 11 p.m. after dropping some friends at their places, I was having a solo car ride along Buluwe Road. I dozed off right behind the steering wheel. I unconsciously switched lanes. I woke up to the sound of concrete chewing through metal. It ate my oil sump, my bumper, my right fender, my headlamp, the driver's door, the driver's glass window. It broke. It didn't break without putting up a fight. The shards of glass literally cut through me before they reunited on the dashboard. I was so close to home. Literally less than 2 minutes. But that memory, I guess that moment taught me that some days you will get so close to your goals, you can smell the steel off the goalpost, but before you take your shot, some invisible hand will move the goalpost to a point where your hardest effort may never score it. And that's okay. That's okay. I got out of the wreck in one piece, thank heavens. I could barely hear the incessant voice next to me yelling, "Bro, you bleeding." Or the other chap who kept on telling me, "Bro, you can't park here." The only thing I kept thinking about was how I was going to call my wife and tell her that I was in a solo car crash without making her panic. I haven't told her this next thing, but some days I sit lost in my own thoughts and I wonder, what would have happened if there was a car speeding down the other lane as I was unconsciously switching from mine? Maybe today I would have been a carcass 6 feet deep, pushing up dirt or daisies or desert cacti, depending on what you put on my grave. I laugh about it now, but it's still pretty gloomy in my head, but that doesn't matter though. What matters is that I am here, and now what matters is that I am here alive. What matters is that I am here on the stage. In fact, back in the day, getting on stage was always a fantasy. The view from up here is always fun to see. The feeling of pure adrenaline coursing through my veins is pure ecstasy. Like the kind you get when you leave a toxic relationship, get a new girl, and get your toxic ecstasy. Beautiful. Beautiful. So dear. So some days I sit lost in my own thoughts wondering, wondering what would have happened if there was a car speeding down the opposite lane as I was unconsciously switching from mine. Maybe right now I would have been a carcass 6 feet deep, pushing up dirt, daisies, or desert cacti. Depending on what you place on my grave, I could be a prick sometimes. But that doesn't matter though. That doesn't matter. What matters is that I am here, and now what matters is that I am here alive. What matters is that I am here on the stage. In fact, back in the day, getting on stage was always a fantasy. The feeling from up here, the view from up here is always fun to see. The feeling of pure adrenaline coursing through my veins is pure ecstasy. The kind you get when you leave a toxic relationship, get a new girl, and get your toxic ecstasy. Beautiful. Beautiful. So to you, I say all this to say this. Dear 2026, to you, I want you to know that I am not a newbie in these fairy flames with no fourth man. I have been burnt one too many times. I am part flame. Sometimes I cannot distinguish between flame and flesh. In fact, I am a new beast, Egyptian god of the dead, half dog, half man, and the dog in me. So to you, 2026, brother, I just want you to know that I am not a newbie in these fairy flames with no fourth man. I have been burnt one too many times. I am part flame. I am part flame. Sometimes I cannot distinguish between flame and flesh. I want you to know that I am a new beast, Egyptian god of the dead, half dog, half man, and the dog in me has just pissed on the four corners of this year. I just marked my territory now. I am not one to claim any year, but this is my turf. 2026, I'm strapped in. I got Jesus on my back. I dare you to take your best shot.